Not to mention the fact that the Pixel 4a 5G UW from Verizon is selling for $100 more. Would you rather pay $600 to get millimeter wave, or would you rather pay $500 for the 4a 5G without the millimeter wave? Including expensive millimeter wave 5G on the Pixel 5 was a big mistake, Google. Millimeter wave 5G is what everyone wants? Really? Which brings me back to my question. Who here has been using millimeter wave? Who here has been using it and has been getting those theoretical godly speeds? Who here has been actually using millimeter wave? Anybody? Anybody? Is anybody actually benefiting from it right now? Anybody? We're going to talk about why this phone should have been priced at $599 instead of $699. Millimeter wave 5G, no one asked for or needs. Only the American Pixel 5 will ship with the antenna modules required for compatibility with millimeter wave 5G networks, and those antenna modules are expensive. I'm going to take the time and I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to bitch about millimeter wave because nobody needs this right now. Could we eventually use it? If they figure it out, maybe. But right now, no. Nobody needs it right now. Nobody needs it right now. Speaking to the Pixel team on a virtual Q&A after today's press conference, I asked about the logic behind adding an expensive, largely useless technology on the unlocked version of the Pixel 5. The answer I received wasn't very pleasing, but it was illuminating. Carriers. This is capitalism at its finest. This is trying to squeeze the most money you can get out of your consumer at any cost. Google claims that its carrier partners all want next-gen smartphones to support millimeter wave 5G. That may sound as obvious as it does unsatisfying, but I truly don't buy it. Both AT&T and T-Mobile have slowed rollouts of their millimeter wave 5G networks to an absolute crawl. AT&T and T-Mobile don't care about millimeter wave, but one company does. One company cares about millimeter wave. That leaves us with Verizon, which has been selling exclusive millimeter wave enabled versions of its own phones at a substantial premium. Usually that premium is around $100 extra. As millimeter wave is the only 5G network technology Verizon has yet deployed. The problem is, in the US, we have no millimeter wave coverage. It says here negligible. At that point, we don't have it. Even with the outdoor millimeter wave coverage that currently exists, what exactly is the realistic use case here? You're going to walk to a specific street corner or park to take a video call with a better connection. Most of those times, those video calls are being done at home. This is silly. These aren't real things people will do just to ensure millimeter wave coverage, and anyone earnestly arguing otherwise is just parroting the 5G marketing drivel Verizon and the like have been spewing for the past year. You're telling me you need multi-gigabit millimeter wave for Zoom? Come on. In the end, Google was pressured by operators to add an expensive feature to its smartphone it doesn't actually need. And even if one day millimeter wave 5G is truly necessary in a smartphone for the masses, that day will come long after your Pixel 5 heads to a local Goodwill or your friendly neighborhood e-waste facility. This is something that I've been talking about for a while. It's not ready. Nobody needs it right now. I'm going to have this Pixel 5 with millimeter wave technology that I paid an extra $100 premium for that I'm not even going to be able to use. And even if I did have Verizon, chances are it wouldn't be working on my phone regardless. I can't believe that the Canadian version of the Pixel 5 is going to be cheaper. I don't know if that Canadian version is going to have all of the same bands, if they're just removing millimeter wave antennas out of it. But if that's the case, can I buy a Canadian one then? Could I save some money on that instead? Because if I could, maybe I'll do that. Days One, what's going on, Days One? Welcome, nice to see you. Video calls work perfectly on LTE with speeds of 50. LTE Advanced is fast enough for watching 1440p videos on YouTube without issue. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Jerome, you have to realize the Pixel would be dead without Verizon. No, it's ridiculous to say that. If you have a phone that works and performs well, and especially is backed by a company like Google, Google isn't some like third world like company. They're not a small name brand. They're Google, Will. They're Google. Verizon can fuck off. They can fuck off. The Pixel wouldn't be dead without Verizon. That's crazy. That's crazy. Google could survive easily without Verizon. No, don't feed that. Don't feed that kind of talk in there. Who cares about these carriers? Why are we so dependent on what these carriers are doing? Google has their own. Look at what they did yesterday on their stupid launch night in. Look at all the money they poured into that. They have money for advertising. They can go ahead and hire 18 Demi Lovatos and 25 Selena Gomez's and no, I'm not. I don't buy that. I don't buy that for a second. I don't buy that for a second. That kid Patrick, if Verizon doesn't sell Pixels, they'll be like 15 sold. We don't know these numbers. We don't know the actual numbers. I think a lot of us are guessing this. Since when does all of this matter? That kid Patrick, oh hello, by the way. I'm not here to hate on you. I'm not here to like Will knows how I get. Will I can rag on Will because Will rags on me anyway. If marketing, if sales, if all of that was so goddamn important to Google, why are they only selling Pixel phones to 7 countries, to 3 countries, to 1.7 countries? They don't even sell their phones globally. They don't. Instead, they have these HGTV shows for launch night in. They spend all this money on other bullshit marketing. They don't care. They don't care. Who cares about Verizon? Fuck them adding $100 to a phone, adding UW to the end of a stupid name of a phone already that's already stupid. Adding UW doesn't make it any better. Scarlett says, calm down, guys. The US has always had the better pricing on everything until now. Scarlett, you're correct there. You're correct. Prevo, am I saying that right? Prevo, you recognize you have a choice which company to buy from. Obviously. Do I look stupid?